Hello everyone, today we are going to see the age of Chaucer. Fourteenth century was the period of great political, religious, literary and social activities. Black Death, the Hundred Years' Wars, Peasants' Revolt and Lollard Movement were few incidents which changed the total picture of the England. There was also growth in trade and commerce. Feudalism started to collapse. The Lords have started their battle against authority of church. People were suffering from the deadly effects of the Hundred Years' War and the Black Death. The Black Death nearly erased more than 40% people of the Britain. The remaining people demanded more wages for work, which resulted in peasants' revolt in 1381. Next we see Hundred Years' War. It began in 14th century. It was fought between England and France. The commercial rivalry between the two nations was the main cause of the war. It was fought in three phases: the Edwardian era, the Caroline War, and Lancastrian War. Next we see the Black Death 1362. The epidemic of plague that erased almost 40% population of Britain. Since population decreased, remaining people or workers asked for more wages. It gave rise to a new middle class. Nearly 40% of priests died, so remaining poorly trained priests accelerated the decline in church power and paved the way for English Reformation. It appeared during the reign of Edward III. Next we see Peasants' Revolt 1381. Since the people are already reeling under the social and economic difficulties, they refused to pay tax. John Ponton was officer collecting tax who introduced new tax. Wat Tyler is related with the event called Peasants' Revolt. It's also called Tyler's Rebellion. It was based on the theory of democracy and socialism of Wat Tyler's text. John Gower's Vox Clamatis deals with Tyler's Rebellion. Chaucer referred to stormy people in two tales, the Clerk Tale and the Nun Priest Tale. Lollard's movement. It was a medieval reform movement. The term was derived from Lollium, word used in the sense of hypocrite. Attacked the practices of church. It was headed by John Wycliffe. Next we see the poet William Langland. Piers the Blowman. It's an allegory in unrhymed alternative verse. It's a social satire on Christian life. It was written with a motive to expose the sloth and voice of the church. The full name of the poem is The Vision of William Concerning Piers the Blowman. Three dreams vision of Piers. Three allegorical characters: Dover, Dobert, and Dobest. The main narrator of the poem in all the versions is named Will. The final appearance of Piers is the Good Samaritan. It's written in Saxon Anna with accent and alliteration, a powerful poem aiming at social reform and vividly portraying the life of the common people. Mead is one character in the poem. It is written in three books: Book A, Book B, and Book C. Book A is about Dover, Dobest, and Dobest. Book B is about Fable of Rats and the Cat. Piers first appears in the Passes 5. Next we see the author John Gower, lost Anglo-Norman poet John Gower. According to David, Gower was a more typical representative of his age and class than Chaucer could claim to be. Gower wrote his first work in French, Myriad de Homies or Speculum Meditations. It is the story of attacks by 7 deadly sins of mankind. Second is O Clementis, a Latin poem. Its dream allegory deals with peasants' revolt. It consists of 7 books. Third book is Confessio Amantis. In English, it was written at the request of Richard II. It is written in octosyllabic couplets. It's also called the Encyclopedia of the Art of Love. It's a collection of stories. Next we see John Manville, a prose writer known for his travel book The Travels of Sir John Mandeville. It's considered to be a major source for geographical information. Leonardo da Vinci and Columbus are believed to have relied on the same book. He wrote in 3 languages. The sequence of them is Latin, French, English. John Wycliffe, the morning star of Reformation, he wrote of civil dominion, where he demanded a moral base for church leadership and urged reforms in church. First, translated Bible into English. He translated Bible from Latin into English in 1380. Nicholas of Hereford and John Poe worked under his guidance in translations of the Bible. It earned him the title of Father of English Prose. He translated it in East Midland English. His followers are known as the Lollard. He is called the real originator of European Protestantism. He was the first to distribute leaflets and pamphlets to people. He was chaplain to Edward III. Geoffrey Chaucer. Chaucer was born in Vintry, the Winchester Street. It is called so because all wine merchants were living there in London. Chaucer's father was also wine merchant. Chaucer served as a page to Elizabeth, Countess of Ulster and wife of Lionel, Edward III's son. Chaucer served Lionel, the Duke of Clarence, in war in France. He was taken to prison. King Edward III paid a ransom for his release. Chaucer was appointed in 1374 as the lucrative London customs. He was made controller of the taxes on wine and other goods in 1382. 1st May 1380, he was released from culpability in the rubs. Chaucer was born in the reign of Edward III, lived through that of Richard II, died in the reign of Henry IV. His works. First period, French period. The first published work of Chaucer is Book of the Duchess in 1369, an allegorical elegy written on the death of Blanche, wife of John of Gaunt, written in more than 1300 lines in octosyllables, 8-syllabic, in lines rhyming couplets. Second period, Chaucer was rewarded a gallon of wine for his artistic achievements during Italian period. The House of Fame is an autobiographical poem, a dream allegory, has allusion to Virgil's Aeneid. It's influenced by Boccaccio, Ovid, Virgil and Dante's Divine Comedy. It's written in 10 books. The Parliament of Fools, 1382. It was written to celebrate the marriage of King Richard with Anne of Bohemia. It's written in rhyme, royal stanza form. Here, in story, birds debate about how to choose mate. It's in 699 lines. It generated a myth. Birds gather before good does nature to sow their males. It presents a vision of animals gathered on Martyrs' Day. It's a social and political satire. It's in Potter Basil. Next work, Troilus and Cressida. And third period. Next we see third period. Third period is English period. The Legend of Good Women, Canterbury Tales, Knight and His Tale. First we see the Legend of Good Women. It's the unfinished book of Chaucer. It's an account of the stories of women from the history and myths. It has a prologue and 9 stories. It's an attack on feminism. It's in prose. Next we see Chaucer's Canterbury Tales 1387. Long says it's a prologue to the modern fiction. It remained unfinished at the time of Chaucer's death. It's written in English period. 29 pilgrims. They are going to the shrine of St. Thomas Becket in the month of April during spring. They have gathered at Aberdeen. Harry Bailey is the host and the judge of the storytelling contest. He will judge the stories on the basis of meaningful and funny. 24 stories are there in the tales. Originally planned 120 stories. Out of 24 stories, only 20 are complete stories. Tale of Chaucer are comical or satirical. The Person Tale and the Tale of Melibee are in prose. It's written in heroic couplet. Knight, his son Squire, their servant yeoman of form military profession. The Squire tale is unfinished. It's about Griselda, the model of wifely obedience. The nun's priest tale, his beast fable of the cock and fox. 3 women, wife of Bath, nun, and prioress. Dryden says, here is God's plenty. There are 8 ecclesiastical characters. First we see Knight and his tale. First storyteller is Knight. He fought 15 battles. He loved chivalry, truth and honor, freedom and courtesy. His tale is a romance. It's a tale of love triangle, Emily Palmer, and Arcite and King Theseus. 3 prayers in the tale. Palamon prays to Venus, goddess of love. Emily prays to Diana, goddess of chastity. Arcite prays to Mars, god of war. Emily marries Palamon at last. Next, Miller and Miller's tale. He has red beard. His nose has a hairy word. He has large mouth and a large nostrils. He is expert in wrestling and wears blue hood and white coat. He interrupts host for his turn of storytelling. His tale is Swagler tale about a carpenter at Oxford and affairs of Nicholas, a student and carpenter's wife's alliance. Next, we see some stories of Canterbury Tales. Just read, okay.